Tech Down Over. Today we have with us Pete Fox from Westcott. Now this is our pre-show. We're just going to go through our shots real quick, make sure everything's looking good. There's Pete, and I'm there with Pete, and then we've got just a single shot. We're going to start with the single shot right now, and we're going to talk all about Westcott, which makes some pretty cool products and some very good lighting, among other things. So here we go. We're going to start the show recording in 3, 2, and 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tech Down Over. I'm Rick Zanotti, and unfortunately today I am flying solo. My co-host and good friend Jeff Blanchard has a really bad head cold, and it's also about 5:30 right now his time, or 5 in the morning his time on a Saturday, and he just felt his head was bad. It's their winter over there, and he's in Melbourne, Australia. So he apologized. He really wanted to be in on this show. He loves the Westcott products, and we will see him next week, hopefully, when he's back. But in the meantime, let's get going. We're back. Well, today we've got with us Pete Fox from Westcott. And let's bring Pete on. Hi, Pete. How are you?
Hey, good. Glad to have you guys with us, I guess.
Yeah, just likewise. Yeah, I'm a Westcott fan. You guys make good products. And so where is Westcott located? Or headquartered?
Westcott's located in Maumee, Ohio. It's just a little bit south of Toledo, Ohio.
Interesting. You know, for the longest time, I thought Westcott was done somewhere else. I thought they were like Australian or New Zealand. I don't know why. But I think I know why. I think I saw a special by a New Zealand photographer, or actually an Australian photographer, who helped develop the ice light. And he was talking, I go, oh, maybe they're from Australia.
Jerry Johannes is the developer of the ice light, and one of our biggest, if not biggest, products in terms of sales all the time. So
it's very clever. Not to mention it
awesome
looks
product. It really goes to how Westcott works. Partnering with pros like Jerry. Latest product is Joel Grimes Beauty Dish, those kind of things. So we're partnering with pros, we're using their ideas and developing those within the Westcott quality model, and just trying to put products out there that really push the limits of what we can do photographically with lighting.
Yeah, does Westcott do other things, or is strictly a lighting company?
Well, we're mostly lighting modifiers, and now with our LED products and ice lights and things like that, getting more into the lighting aspect itself. But that's what Westcott does. It just develops products for the photographic industry. It's creative products. Going back to 1899, when they first started as an umbrella company, and right here in Maumee, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio.
Well, so that was 1899.
1899 is when,
wow.
Yeah, and it's still Westcott's still controlled by the same family that started the business in 1899.
And you said it was an umbrella company at first.
Umbrella company, yeah.
Isn't it funny? Well, okay, I'm getting a marketing idea here. So we started from umbrella, but then we let in the light. Okay, right. Sorry, it just came out.
You can use that.
That's a good. Go. Feel free. I just thought, well, that'd be a good transition over there. I mean, that's a cool story.
The guy who heads the company now, and is our chairman, is part of that same family, and actually developed the halo along with some photographers back in the 1980s. So that was his first introduction. He actually brought the photographic umbrella to the business, and then expanded on it, and now Westcott's become the majority of the business.
Isn't that cool?
And split off the umbrella company to another entity. So
I think that's cool. It's an interesting. I didn't realize that they had started as an umbrella company. Well, do you remember? Nokia, and what they started out with before they became one of the biggest phone companies at one point. They manufactured toilet tissue.
Yeah, it's interesting where people start and where they end up. But
yeah. From toilet tissue to great phones and Microsoft requirement. They're almost back to toilet tissue now, but it's sad. But no, I'm just kidding. But seriously, they've had a real up and down because of the way the phone industry's gone. But Now, Westcott's interesting. They were a little late to the market with LEDs, but you guys came in with a real big splash when you did come in. You came in with some real solid products, and sometimes being first to the market isn't the best idea. I look at Sony. They're probably the first with small cameras that are full frame, and yet they've got things that don't make it quite professional. Single SD cards. There's no double cards. There's no little things that really make a professional go, I need some backup. I got to put in a device to. But being first isn't always the best. But you guys have transitioned very well into the LED marketplace. We talked a little bit pre-show, but before we talk about that, what's your responsibility at Westcott?
Well, my title is Technical Service Representative. I'm really a translator, though, I would say. I'm not the guy that knows all the ins and outs of every technical issue, how much lux does this have, or how many lumens, or things like that. I'm more the guy that when someone needs an answer to a question, I can kind of translate for the tech people to the photography industry.
Okay.
Having been a photographer and studio manager for over 30 years, I guess I'm more that real world person.
Yep.
So when someone calls in and has a specific issue, I can speak to them on what they're talking about, and also translate that, I guess, to the real technical service representative, the technical people who really have all those details that sometimes they want, particularly as we get into the video industry, where it's a highly technical field, and the people who are in that industry are very much interested in things like CRI and TLCI and things like that from our life. So,
yeah, it's interesting, though. The whole concept of CRI years ago nobody really knew what it was. I mean, nobody talked about it. And to this day, people go, oh, it's got a 95 CRI. What does that mean? Color rendering index. That's how close it is to almost perfect. Literally.
And I just had someone on one of the forums I had to answer a question to, regarding when cheap LED lights, and it's not a very easy thing to try to produce anything cheap and maintain the quality that you need. I mean, he had several $1,000s worth of camera equipment, and was going to try to capture images with cheap lighting on that. This camera now, the capabilities of the cameras are awesome, but imagine putting a cheap light source in front of that camera. It's getting every detail, and you're trying to light it with something that just won't do the job, or won't use all the limits that your camera now can record.
Well, this is sort of funny when you deal with photographers and video guys. It's funny what they cheap out on. It's like, I know some photographers, they'll buy really nice bodies, $3,000 bodies or more, and then they buy a $50 lens and go, how come I don't get the image I should be getting out of this? Well, because you're cheap. You just bought a junk lens, and what do you expect? And with lighting, it was the same thing. If you bought a cheap LED light set, I got this for $100, and it's a foot by foot long, and then you get this yellow glow everywhere, or green. And it just looks terrible because the CRI, or the color rendering index, is low. It's like not even near 90. It's probably in the 70s, and you just go, oh gosh.
So the majority of them are coming in that we've seen tested at around 65, 70 for a lot of that stuff, and it just will not get you the product you want, and then you've got all that post-processing time and energy and labor put into it that in the end it ends up costing you more.
Well, it's interesting. Just to give you an idea of what we do with Westcott, we took with us to a live conference that we went to. It wasn't a huge one, but there were several hundred people or more. It was an e-learning conference for one of the e-learning tool developers. And we went with equipment to do live streaming. And I said, what lights do I want to bring? I know. I bought the Westcott Flex and the Westcott Ice Light, both of them. And they asked me, why are you bringing that one? Because they're not as big as some of the other lights we have. I go, oh, no, there's a reason. These are going to get people's attention. And sure enough, I had more people come by and go, what's that? They were looking at, especially the Flex light. That was just blowing them away. What is that? That's a Westcott
It's a phenomenal light. I had almost a mimic of that discussion with someone who actually travels a lot and goes overseas to photograph business executives. And they were talking about lighting sources. I said, okay, there's when you can take in a 2x2 LED panel and you're working with a space that's only 5 feet wide, and you can just basically lay that up against the wall and light this person. Not only are you getting the effect of the light that's going to do what you want it to do, but imagine how that's reflecting on that business professional that's paying you to travel to Europe to take his photographs. And wow, you got something cooler than anybody else. I mean, you just haven't seen that before. So
it's very, very clever. It's not cheap.
I mean, neat after effect to it too. In addition to the fact that the quality of life that it provides. So it's an awesome product.
Right, and it's not the cheapest product, but you know, you get what you pay for. And
there are more expensive products.
There are. Yes. But I mean, for what it does, and the money, I think it was like $4 something. I think 500 maybe max. I'm trying to remember. I got it at Sammy's camera.
1x1 panels, you're looking at around $6.99 for a daylight version of that. There are some smaller versions that you can get for a lower price. But
okay, then maybe I paid that much. I think I paid a little bit less because I'm a longtime client at Sammy's, and they probably gave me a good deal. But it comes with a very long, and these are little things, guys. This is the stuff you appreciate. It comes with a very long cable. So when you plug it in, you don't have to be going, oh, I don't have enough room, I need another extender. I don't know, that's got to be like about 12 foot or more cable. It's long. I mean, I've gotten across a room with it without a problem.
16.
16, okay.
But it is a very long cable.
Yeah, and that's great. You know, people would say, why do you need a long cable? Believe me, when you're on site or where you're anyway, you need a cable. Because we didn't have to go into extension cords with that. It was great. And it's also got a very good dimmer. It does a nice job. It's big, it's easy to handle, and you also provide the backplane mount if you want to put it on a tripod. So you could literally Velcro it to the wall. Well, every edge has Velcro on it, so you could put it on the wall, Velcro it, put it down, and no, we're not getting paid by Westcott for this. I actually really enjoy the light. It's a fun light to use, and the color it renders is really good. On all those shows,
I think some of the unique features people are unaware of, they don't know the Flex Light at all, is it's a bendable product.
Yes.
That's what we call Flex. You can start shaping the light itself into different forms to do things with a smaller light source that you would only think I needed this huge light source with. I played a little bit with things where you might need a huge softbox to light the curves of an object, and now guess what? Your light source can curve around that. Now you move that flex lighting closer to the object you're lighting, and it can start to react like a huge softbox would.
Yeah, it does.
And opportunities. It's a waterproof. I mean, you can put it under the water. That's crazy. The opportunities for using flex is. For lighting sources, I don't think we've even heard the end of what people
and believe me, it's bright. You can go when you put that on full bore, you're squinting. It's so bright. It's amazing because you look at it and go, "What's this going to do? It's so thin, so small." No, it'll light up a room like you wouldn't believe.
I actually have 2 panels in here lighting this area here.
Okay.
We were doing this 2 weeks ago, what was originally scheduled. I actually just pasted it up inside my little cubicle. And
interesting.
The panels actually up inside the cubicle to light it. And today, because we went a little bit earlier, I need to get out of the main flow of the traffic. And so I'm in a room here, but I've got a flex panel right and left, and they're probably down around, I don't know, 8-10%.
I was just going to say, you're probably low because anything beyond it'll really light you. It'll almost burn you out if you're not careful. But that's power. And that means you can put it close or far to someone, and you're still going to get a pretty good effect on it. Yeah, it's nice. And the ice light, I saw. I think was it Jerry, the one who developed it?
Jerry Jones, Australian. So your friend from Australia couldn't join us today.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
Now he did a thing for B&H, and I was watching that special. That's how I heard about the ice light. And he was talking about how he developed it and how Westcott brought it to market. And I'm watching going, that is a really cool light. And so we got one. And I didn't have a chance to do it before this show, but I'm going to just for the hell of it, because I think it's also a lightsaber at heart. It looks like a lightsaber. It really does. I practice martial arts on the side. So what I'm going to do is do a whole mess of movements with that ice light in kind of a slow motion, so you see the light just kind of going. I'll send it to you when we do it.
Light paintings, yeah.
I couldn't, because that's so much fun to work with, and it's pretty much sized like a little lightsaber. So I was thinking, oh, that's just too cool. It's a really fun lamp. We put it on a flex pole so that you could move it around. It would just attach it and then attach that to the tripod. And when we did that live thing, we didn't have really any place to hang anything, so we had to bring our own small tripods. But that one, I could move anywhere around. People were walking by going, what is that? Is that a lightsaber? Kind of.
It's another one of those cool products, and it does. Jerry's got several videos at our university site on YouTube that show, how many different ways and different effects he can get by using an ice light. And
it was amazing.
It's an amazing thing. Jerry's an amazing photographer.
Yes.
and designer too. He has our Omega reflector is another one of his products, and those are two of my favorites that are really unique. I haven't been a photographer that did a lot of seniors in my career. I can tell you that Omega reflector has quickly become my favorite for versatility. It's the one that has the cutout in the middle and lets you photograph, shoot straight through it, or you can use it as a traditional reflector. You can open up the center section and almost create a small window light. Mm-hmm. It's just incredibly versatile and just another great product. Again, one of my favorites. It's combined with a rapid box. That's my outdoor lighting kit.
Really? Okay, it's rapid box.
Omega reflector.
That's really good. What other lights do you commonly sell now that are really popular?
In terms of light,
mm-hmm. or lighting kits or solutions.
Looking at modifiers or
mm-hmm.
big sellers are flex, obviously, ice lights. Mm-hmm. So in terms of leading lighting charge from us, those are the two main products. We also have CFL spider lights, TV6.
Oh, okay.
That is very, very popular in the CFL. I see a lot of people trending more toward the LEDs now because it does have a higher CRI. Mm-hmm. So that seems to be the tendency. But the TV6s still do very, very well, and the lighting from those is awesome. Clay Blackmore, very well-known wedding photographer, uses those. As well as I believe Jerry uses that as well for some of his photography. So it's a great option in terms of lighting as well.
So what do you see as the future of lighting and photography and video? Things are changing. They're evolving. Sensors are getting more sensitive. They can handle super low light nowadays. Look at the Sonys. I mean, what is it, 1 million? Even some of the Nikons can go up to 1 million ISO. That's a lot. That's a lot of sensitivity. Mind you, it's not really functional at 1 million, but the thing is, they're getting there. They're getting to the point where one day they'll actually be functional. What do you see as where the industry is going as far as lighting and any kind of exciting things coming out of Westcott?
Seeing more in terms of the LED. I think we're going to continue to see LED grow and some of the technology get even more refined in those areas. I think in terms of product and lighting product and modifiers, I think Westcott's approach to finding people in the industry that that have ideas about what possibilities we have. What if I had one of these that did this? I mean, that's what people come to us. Some of our pros come to us and say, "Hey, I really like this product, but can we refine what we have, or can maybe it's something totally off the wall and new invention like a flex or an ice light."
Yeah.
I mean, Westcott's really leading the charge on all those innovative products, I think, and I think that's probably going to be the trend. I don't know that we're going to come up with those ideas. I think we're just going to listen to what people say. Hey, well, what if we had one of these? Yep. What if Rick comes to me and says, "Hey, you know what? I liked your ice light, but what if it was this, and what if it did that, and what if we had one of these?" And then we can say, "You know what? You're right. Why don't we have one that does that?" And that would be a cool thing. So, we're just going to keep listening.
That's great. That's great. Well, Pete, if people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that? And I guess, and I know Westcott sells through just about everywhere: Amazon, B&H, Sammy's, and a whole mess of other places. What's the best way to people get a hold of you?
Well, if they wanted to get a hold of me directly, I'm at initial P, Fox, at fjwestcott.com. That's usually the best way. You can call our customer service department. Unfortunately, I didn't write the phone number down right in front of me, so you might have to actually Google that or look it up. But you can call customer service, and someone here, myself or someone else, be glad to help you with any of your lighting questions or specific Westcott referrals. That's a great way to approach it. I do check forums and will log in on that. A lot of them will have restrictions as to what I can actually say other than answer direct questions. But if you have a specific question, just email me and I'll be glad to either respond to your email or give you a call directly if you're open to that, and we can chat about your lighting products.
That sounds great. Now, if people want to learn more how to use your products, like the flex lights or the ice lights, what do you recommend as a good way to learn how to use them?
There's a lot of good stuff on our university site, westcottu.com.
Okay.
And then YouTube videos out there on our, subscribe to our channel for that. Really good options. Most of the stuff that you're going to have questions about, you're going to find in that. Go to fjwestcott.com. The specification stuff is there, and we're adding information all the time on those. We're adding some more graphs and lighting diagrams to the specification thing, so you can see what our lights actually do and the kind of technical specifications that people are asking, like the TLCI rating now and things like that, are being added to our lighting. So yeah, definitely go to those spaces and check out what we already have for you.
That sounds great. Well, Pete, I really appreciate you coming on, sharing a little bit about Westcott and what you guys do. As an owner of Westcott products, I'm a pretty happy owner. They're a lot of fun to use. And how often do you say, hey, lights are fun to use? Not often. And these lights are fun. They're actually fun because they really do stimulate that creativity of what I want to do with this. And they give you options you just don't get with regular lights.
They do. They definitely do. Hey, thanks for having me, Rick. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to your viewers and et cetera, and tell them a little bit about Westcott, and hopefully they will invest in one of our products, and then we've got them. I've been using Westcott products myself since my first initiation with them was back in the 80s when I went to an Ed Pierce seminar, and I just made a note the other day. There's two things that have stuck with me in that whole time that I haven't changed. I've changed lighting, I've changed camera systems, I've changed a lot of things, but the two things that have stuck with me are I still work with the same tripod company. Okay. I still have the same tripods, and the other thing is the Westcott modifiers. I mean, I think I still have one of my halos from the 1980s that every once in a while I'll pull out for something. So it's been a long-standing relationship for me before I joined the team here right at Westcott.
That's great. That's great. Well, Pete, you have a great weekend, and we'll have show notes saying how to get to your website and everything else. So we look forward to maybe seeing you back on the show again. And if you have any new products you want to announce them, come on over. We'd love to hear about them.
Hey, we'll be glad to give you a call here. I know we've got some new stuff coming out next quarter. So
good, exciting. Definitely do that, because we love putting out stuff like that. And of course, then my wallet gets thinner, but I'm used to that, so that's okay. Hey, have a good one, Pete. Thanks a lot for coming on. And if you're watching the show, please subscribe, give us your feedback, and let us know what you think. We'll have all the show information on Westcott in the show notes. Have a good one, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.